Hi, I'm Christina from Bookworm Dreams, and welcome to a new video. Today I'm gonna be talking about the Amazon original series called Forward. It is a series that I bought like a long time ago, read a long time ago, but I think I'll talk to you a bit about it. This is in no way is sponsored by Amazon. I do not tell you to kind of use it or anything. I don't support them. I just bought it because I wanted to try out the authors, and just I felt like short stories would be and novellas would be kind of a good way to get like a taste of how an author writes, and if I would be interested in reading something more by them. I also have the Amazon horror series. I don't know what it's called, but once I read that, I will also like leave a review for you. So I'll just try to be quick. So this is like a collection of I think two, four, six novellas. They're quite short. I think you also have the audio version available over Audible or something like that. So we have authors Veronica Roth, Blake Crouch, N.K. Jemisin, Amor Towles, Paul Tremblay, and Andy Weir. Most of them I think already you know about all of them, but when I bought it, I think I read only one book by Andy Weir. I read, I think, one by Veronica Roth. I haven't read N.K. Jemisin. I read Blake Crouch, I think, and I've never heard of Amor Towles, so that was like, and I heard about Paul Tremblay, but I've heard about him in the horror sense rather than the SF sense, so kind of I want to see, what the series was about. So let's start off with Arc by Veronica Roth. So this is a story of Samantha, who is kind of tasked with cataloging plants and kind of making this catalog and file of plants that will go into the Arc flora, because there is an asteroid coming towards Earth. The most of humanity has left Earth for Earth, the sequel Terra, and she is there with a couple of scientists who are just kind of doing the last checks and last, like cataloging and everything for posterity. So I mean, obviously you can't take everything with you, so she kind of is there, and she visits each day the main scientist, and brings him lunch and talks to him, and there's like some contemplation about stuff. The Earth is gonna die, and 2 days before they need to go, she finds a new species of orchid, and like kind of that's what the story is about, and her just contemplation about the world. And I quite liked it. It was you would think that the whole everyday lunch going thing would be repetitive, but didn't feel repetitive because there was always a new topic that was dealt with. So I think it was quite interesting. Then we have Summer Frost by Blake Crouch. Blake Crouch is my man. I mean, I read one book by him, and this is a novella, and I love. This was awesome. I loved it. I still remember it. I don't remember. I forget that it's by him and that is this novella, but like the whole series is worth it just like because of this thingy. Like absolutely awesome. So we have Riley, who is like a video game developer and a non-player character in the game that she's creating. Kind of starts acting out, and we follow basically Max, the non-play character, as she goes from this type of character to like a super intelligence, and what happens when she actually kind of you know isn't really willing to stick to the rules of the game. And it was very interesting, like the whole concept. I still remember, like literally I still have the scene of the video game in my head, and what happens, how it starts and everything. It was just so interesting, and like this kind of exploration of what, like another exploration of what would happen if like an AI became sentient enough to understand that like there are rules and should they play by the rules or not. And like I really have to read more of like Crouch. Basically, that's it. Then we have Emergency Skin by N.K. Jemisin. So this is the story of like human who actually comes back to Earth after like Earth has been abandoned, but some people stay there, and like he's coming back. I think he's coming back, and he like has this like skin on that's like it's emergency skin, and he basically wants to see what has happened to the planet. Has the planet survived and thrived or gone to hell? And basically we get to see him as he kind of finds other humans and stuff like that, and like thinks about the life and everything. And it was really really interesting. I also liked it. I think this was possibly the first thing I read by N.K. Jemisin that led me to read the first book in this series. And I, for the love of God, I can't remember its name. I can't even remember the name of the first book. Fifth something. Anyways, this thingy, if you see, like, and I loved that. So like total win for me. Then we have You Arrived at Your Destination by Amor Towles. So this is quite I think I would reread this to see just how I see it now, because this is the story of Sam. He is a father, and he is actually not a father. He goes to a fertility clinic to kind of choose the type of life his son will lead. And his wife has already kind of made some kind of choice, and now he's the one who has to make it. So they see if they kind of, if they're the same or what needs to be changed. So basically it's a story that kind of explores whether can people's lives be statistically reproduced and foreseen. That's what I wrote. I was very smart when I read that one. And I have to say, I think now, I read this before I was pregnant, and now that I have a child, like, it's such an interesting topic. Like, would you choose your child's life if you had the option? Like, if you had the option, like, and like the options are never like, your child is going to give a good person or a bad person. There's always like, basically the choices show you that there's always a gray area. And then like the Sam, as the future father, starts also contemplating his own life and choices. And like, I would really actually like to reread that one and see how I feel about it now. But also very interesting. Then we have The Last Conversation by Paul Tremblay. So we are following Dr. Anne Kuhn, and as she is kind of questioning a subject, we have no name for the subject, and she kind of observes the subject and tries to kind of, I think it's a he, help him kind of regain the stability and like life, and try to remember who he was and what has happened, because the subject was in some kind of a comatose like state because of compromised immunity. And basically we are following their conversations. It got a bit repetitive because like their conversations are actually always the same, and then they kind of build up to something, but that kind of just turned it a little bit boring. But there is an interesting part where there are parts of the story where there's a second person perspective from the subject, and like that's really interesting. And in the end, there is a twist, and it was an interesting twist. So overall it was I think quite an interesting book, because you're kind of left questioning what would you do if you woke up and you didn't know who you were, why you were like in a closed glass room, and you were really frail and everything. Like, what happened to you? And finally, we have Randomized by Andy Weir, who I really enjoy reading, but this one was unfortunately such a fail. Oh my god. Not a fail in the sense that, like, it was a bad story, It just was. So I am not a technical person. I do not read about AI stuff. I don't read about computers. Like I'm not like illiterate in that sense. I kind of keep track at least of what's happening, but I don't really delve into the specifics of it. And this story, at one point, got so technical that I just kind of lost it. I didn't know. It was just like, I don't care. Like, just tell me what what you will do with it, not how you will do it. And Andy Weir usually has like this great thing where, although he explains stuff like the technical stuff, you can understand it. But I totally like, maybe it was because it was a novella, so I didn't have time to process it properly. But it was just like, oh my god, I just didn't care for it. And what is the story about actually? So it's a story about Edwin, who runs a casino, and he hires this IT guy to upgrade his security in the casino. And a pair of some staff in the casino actually decide to kind of, because they're also tech savvy, they decide to kind of exploit this quantum computing thing that they're trying to put up for security reasons, and kind of cheat on the casino. And that's where kind of the story develops. So although like the entire premise is actually very interesting, because like cheating in casinos is like a big thing, and they're always trying to kind of find ways to prevent it, and this is like just an upgrade in the sense, like using computers and everything, but like I just didn't care for it, and I'm so sorry about it. So yeah, and that is it. Those are the 6 short stories. As I said, I think the collection was worth buying, because I really loved a lot of the stories. I like the N.K. Jemisin story one, the Blake Crouch one, and I really liked the Amor Towles one. Although, again, I think I would like to contemplate it more. And the rest, like, there was not a bad seed in there. Like, it was just, some were better, some were not as good for me. But overall, I think there was not like one I can say, like, even this Andy Weir one is just like, for my taste, it was like because of the technical stuff, but otherwise, like, the whole plot and idea still like is interesting to me. So I think overall it was like a really good collection. Maybe if you have Kindle Unlimited, maybe you could get it through that, but just as like to read in between all the bigger stuff you're reading, or maybe just like to change it up, but not like commit to a full novel. Like, I think these are pretty cool and really good. And yes, that is it. Would you like to hear like the review of the horror ones once I read them? I'll put it somewhere, what's its name, and I'll put a picture somewhere. And yes, what are you reading? Would you kind of give me some recommendations for like this shorter form, because like for the life of me, it's very difficult to read novels right now. And yes, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, press the bell button if you want to get notifications whenever we post new videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in our next video. Bye.